Hey chess family, this is National Master Jesse James, and today we're going over 5 different opening traps in the Caro-Kann. Here we go. We start up with white playing e4, c6, the Caro-Kann. c4, this is going to transpose into that Pannov-Botvinnik Attack like we were talking about earlier. d5, pawn takes, d4. Knight to f6, knight to c3, knight c6, bishop g5. A very good move for the bishop in these openings. And here black plays queen b6. This looks like a strong move because it is double attacking on d4 and also the b2 pawn. Unfortunately for them, they don't realize that this b2 pawn is not actually a threat. So what does white play? Here they actually get to play the amazing c takes on d5 here. This is pretty cool because a lot of times in these openings where the diagonal becomes weak, if you get the pawn to d5, you're typically just winning. And this is true for this case too. Well, what do? Here black went ahead and played queen takes on b2, winning a pawn and also attacking this weak unprotected knight. Okay, what do you play? Here, white chose rook c1, a nice move to defend the knight and also get the rook out of the way. Knight b4 got played. It looks like it's a good idea as well. We're going to be attacking the d5 pawn twice here. And, well, here white plays a very nice move, which is knight to a4 here, attacking the queen. Now, here there really is only one good move here to play, which is queen to a3 here. But even then, black is still in some trouble. With that being said, well, here we're going to go ahead and take a look at the obvious move, which is queen takes on a2. And now it is a forced queen trap here. Here we're going to go ahead and play bishop on c4, developing and attacking the queen. Okay, the queen really has nowhere good to go. She has to go to a3 now. And now we get the move, do you see it? Rook to c3, and the queen is truly trapped here. Now black does have one resource here we're going to take a look at, but this does not work either. Here they play knight to d3 check. Queen takes, and here taking with the queen seems a bit weird as well. Can't they just take the knight? Well, this is part of the trap. Here, if they do play queen takes on a4, then we play bishop b5 check, winning the queen. Now notice they did not have to take the knight. They could have played queen back to d6, but at this point you're just up an extra piece, and well, you're just winning in this game. So here we take a look at the idea of them actually taking, because again, this is a trappy move. Alright, on to the next one. I call this one a helpful knight. Here we go. e4, c6, the Caro-Kann. Pawn to c4, d5, the Pannov-Botvinnik Attack, at least transposition. And here we're going to go ahead and take. Pawn takes, bishop to b5 check. Unfortunately for us, this is actually not the right way to play this as white. Here, although the diagonal may look weak, we can't really get control over it this time. So black is very happy to go ahead and play bishop d7 to trade off. Remember, a lot of times in the Caro-Kann, this bishop to d7 is actually quite weak because the pawns are on the light squares. So black is all but happy to trade off. Queen a4, again trying to put on more pressure on this diagonal. Does not do any good. In fact, black just gets greedy here and just takes the pawn, because why not? Bishop takes on d7. A nice move here. Knight takes on d7. And here, white will typically take the e4 pawn back because, well, if they don't, they're just down an extra pawn. But here is the idea. It is now black to move and get a very good position. Do you see it? Hopefully you do. Here we play knight to c5 for a double attack. Here we're attacking the queen, but also the weak square on d3. So now we're going to be able to play knight to d3 check as the queen is protecting. And, well, they're going to lose the right to castle. The queen moves somewhere. In this game, queen went over to c4, and now we get that nice idea. Knight d3 check. The king went to e2, trying to make a threat toward the knight, but unfortunately this loses really fast. All right, black to move. What do you play here? Here we get to play rook to c8, skewering, attacking the queen and this bishop over here on c1. Wait a second, can't we just take? You're more than welcome to take, but after queen takes, king takes, rook takes on c1, we see that both knights cannot move as the rooks will just be lost here. So here, black finds himself inside a winning position, and white is lost in less than 12 moves. All right, here we go. Another, I like to call this the Caro-Kann basic trap here. Here we're going to go e4, c6. Caro-Kann, pawn c4, d5, the Pannov-Botvinnik Attack, pawn takes, d4, knight c6 attacking the pawn takes on d5. Remember, when you can do this, this is typically good whenever they cannot take back with the pawn. Okay, queen takes on d5, knight f3 to defend, bishop g4. Here the idea is very easy. They want to play bishop takes knight so they can take on d4. But here we have this basic trapping idea. We just play bishop b2, an innocuous move. And here we're just saying, well, why can't we just take? Well, here, bishop did take, and bishop takes f3 is just winning on the spot here. Here, we're going to be able to play d5 if they do not take the pawn. Of course, here they took the pawn, and this is the basic trap. It's white to move. What do you play here? Simple chess. All we do is play bishop takes knight over here in check, and this will leave the queen unprotected. After they take back, pawn, we can just go ahead and take the queen. And here, well, it looks like over 50,000 games have been played, and they have all fallen for this trap, and that's just on Lichess alone. All right, here's a fun one. The Pannov-Botvinnik Attack winning the queen. Here we got a queen trap. Here we go. We start with e4, c6, the Caro-Kann. d4, d5, pawn takes c4, the Pannov-Botvinnik Attack. Pawn takes on c4, bishop takes on c4. Knight f6, knight c3, knight c6, bishop to e3 to defend the pawn. When the knight came to c6, they were attacking. And here black plays a weird looking move, queen to a5. And here we get to punish it. Do you remember the move that we're supposed to play here? Hopefully you do. Whenever you can play this move, you're typically just winning. Here you can play pawn to d5 to get that winning position. Here already, white's already at plus 1.2. But for the trappy move, let's go ahead and play the second best move and look at bishop to d2. What's this do? Here we're trying to look for discoveries against the queen. Well, here this also leaves the pawn on d4 unprotected. And unfortunately for our opponent, they did not know this trap. So they played knight takes on d4 because, well, isn't it just a free pawn? Now it's white to move and win by force. Okay, here we go. We start with knight to b5 here with the double attack. The knight attacks the knight and the bishop attacks the queen. Okay, only one move for them to defend. Queen back to b6. And here we simply take on d4. And they cannot take back or they're going to be losing the queen. How? Well, after queen takes on d4, we get to play the amazing move queen to a4 check here, attacking the king. And here, any way that they try to block or get out of check, they're just going to be losing. Okay, what happens if they try bishop to d7? This is the simplest and easy looking move. Here you simply play, what do you play? Undefended queen. Bishop takes on f7 check for a nice discovery against the queen. Okay, what happens if queen back to d7? Here again we'll just see another nice idea, pin it and win it. Of course, you can look at the idea of moving the king over to d8, but there's many ways to win here. Here, one of the nicest ways is castling queenside, and we see bishop a5, double check. This is already a +8 position, so basically you're up the extra queen without even winning here just yet. All right, let's go on to our next one. This is the final one and one of my favorite ones. This is the Pannov-Botvinnik trap with the bishop on e3. What do I mean? Let's take a look and see what this idea is. Here we play e4, c6. Pawn to d4, pawn to d5, pawn takes, c4. Here we go with the Pannov-Botvinnik Attack. Knight f6, knight c3, e6 here to defend. Pawn takes, and we do this on purpose because we want them to try to get this check in. So here we go, knight f3, bishop b4. This is all common theory. Bishop d3, castles here. And here we're going to go fishing for a little trap here. We play pawn to a3. Now, by all means, maybe this is not the best move, but it does go for this trap. What's the idea? Well, here they will most likely play rook e8 check because it comes with a free tempo to attack the king. We play bishop to e3, and here they cannot win the pawn or the bishop over here on e3. What do I mean? Well, after bishop takes, pawn takes, here white should just be happy as well. They have the bishop pair and a good center. But here if they try to win this bishop over here, then they're going to be getting into a bad position. After knight g4, now we have 2 attackers. Now, if you want to, you could play queen to d2 to defend, but here I recommend castling kingside right here because taking the pawn over here is going to be losing. What do I mean? After knight takes, pawn takes, rook takes, here we have a plus 1.5 position, and that is for the computer. Here, white just has too many attacking ideas. For instance, we have bishop takes f7 idea, knight to e5, the rook's attacking over on f7. There's many different variations here, but basically you're going to get into a winning position very fast. Here, we'll take a look at an easy idea. Here, let's say knight goes to e5, and the computer's already saying, sacrifice your rook for this knight. Okay, we know most humans are not going to do that. They're going to play something simple like knight c6, and here already we have a winning attack. White to move, what do you do? Here we have the very nice idea of bishop takes on h7 check, king takes, queen on h5 check. Here the idea was to get a double attack on f7, king back to g8, queen takes on f7 check, king to h7, queen h5 check, king to g8, and now, well, for the final move, let's go ahead and play it. Knight to f7 for a nice double attack. Here, we're either going to be winning the queen, or we're going to be doing checkmate on h8 over here. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Remember, this was 5 opening traps in the Caro-Kann Pannov-Botvinnik Attack. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Feel free to give us that like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.